Cruise news time, and we got some breaking cruise news, breaking Carnival cruise news, breaking Disney Cruise Line cruise news. One of the most popular perks ever on Carnival Cruise Line is coming back, and everybody's excited. Well, everybody maybe except the loyalist. I don't know. Look, we got some interesting cruise stock conversations. We had a couple stocks dip yesterday because possibly a couple news stories. We've got a cruise line president that's getting their own jewelry line. How about that? And look, well, we had to cancel a cruise. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face on a Thursday, November the 17th, 2022. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. It's not. It's 1 week away from Thanksgiving. I know for sure that Thanksgiving is on a Thursday, so what? November the 17th, 2022. Cruise news story number one. People are rejoicing from the hilltops. From the mountaintops, people are singing rejoiceful songs as the announcement has come that Carnival's Faster to the Fun Perk is returning in December the 1st. John Heald dropped the big message just hours ago on his Facebook page that Faster to the Fun would be coming back. Now, Faster to the Fun is a perk that you can buy through the excursion site on Carnival. So if you go to manage your cruise, you go to excursions, you can purchase Faster to the Fun. This gives you priority boarding for your cruise, and it also gives you early access to your cabin. This thing is great. On our very first cruise, we used Faster to the Fun. We paid $100, and we got on the cruise toot sweet. We got on the cruise super fast, and I loved it. And what I didn't know at the time that I purchased Faster to the Fun on my very first cruise is that, well, me being able to get Faster to the Fun on my very first cruise as a blue card makes some of those platinum and diamond cruisers, well, it makes them upset because they get the same perk for free, but they had to do a lot more for it than just shell out $100. And the timing's interesting on this. You remember like 3 or 4 weeks ago, Carnival brought back priority boarding for platinum and diamond passengers, which that was a big deal. Everybody was excited about that. And I had been asked the question, when do I think Faster to the Fun will come back? I thought there would be a little bit of a window between those two events, so at least the platinum and the diamond folks could revel in their perk before it was easily purchased. And well, it looks like that it's going to be easily purchased. This is going to be 4 cruises starting in December the 1st. John Heald said that he wasn't sure of the timing of when it would go on sale for these cruises. So if you're cruising early December and you want the perk, make sure you're going to your cruise manager, you're looking at the excursions and trying to buy Faster to the Fun. Are you a fan of Faster to the Fun? Are you diamond and platinum? Does this annoy you? Do you not care at all? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 2, a rumor that has been floating around for a few weeks is now a fact. Disney Cruise Line has bought the partially built Dream cruise ship. This cruise ship has been in financial trouble because its parent company, Genting, well, they went out of business, and there was some question as to whether or not this cruise ship would be sold or it would go to the scrapyard. Well, now we know that Disney Cruise Line is purchasing it, and it's the world's largest cruise ship by capacity. And some capacity it has. This cruise ship is going to house 9,000 passengers. It's not even like the world's largest cruise ship from a size. It's just 9,000 passengers. Wow. Interesting cruise ship. One of its unique features, it's got 3 funnels. Not 2 funnels, not 1 funnel, 3 funnels. Disney says that they purchased this cruise ship. It will be servicing passengers outside the U.S., so this will not be a U.S. cruise ship. But it will be interesting to see what this cruise ship is named and how it's themed. What will Disney do with the world's highest capacity cruise ship? It's about 80% complete, so I think the first thing they'll do is finish building it and then go from there. But yeah, if you wished upon a star that Disney would have the world's highest capacity cruise ship, well, dang Jiminy Cricket, your wish came true. How about that? Cruise news story number 3. Let's talk about cruise stocks. Really, cruise news story number 3 and 4. We had a couple interesting scenarios happen. Who knows if there's a causation or not? I have a close contact in the financial industry, and he talks all the time about how the news actually will impact a stock price, and analysts will say this also. Well, an interesting thing happened yesterday. Carnival, they made an announcement that they were going to sell a private offering of $1 billion to offset some of their debt. And so these cruise companies have a massive pile of debt coming at them with payments due all of the time. And so they're looking for creative ways to get a lower interest rate so that these debt payments are not so devastating. And well, Carnival did that. And now Carnival's been like on a 4-day run. It's been shooting up into the stratosphere, the highest prices in a long time. Well, ironically, when this debt story comes out, it took a dive yesterday. It dropped back below the $10 range. It's back in the $8 range. I'm not sure what it's doing so far today. But yeah, talking about a private offering that maybe, I guess it might dilute the stocks a little bit. It was enough to drive the price down. Again, I don't know if any of this is causation. That's speculation that happens. And then another cruise stock lost money at the same time that it was announced that the CEO and the CFO had sold some of their stock for a decent amount of money. And maybe if you didn't know, when it comes to executives inside of a company selling stock in their own company, to keep everything legal and above board, they have to report it out. And so that's why we know this information. Yesterday, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings CEO Frank Del Rio, any WWE fans out there? Frank Del Rio, he sold 58,000 shares of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings stock, and he made $1.1 million. Which, that's great. We know that Norwegian has also been on a run up, and so he was able to sell 58,000 shares of Norwegian stock. And while 58,000 shares sounds like a lot, well, he's still left with 1.3 million shares of Norwegian Cruise Line stock. And while he's not the only one at Norwegian that sold stock yesterday, the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, Mark Kempa, he sold 25,000 shares and got $462,000. And Kempa now holds 197,000 shares of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. Again, this information came out, and Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings stock decreased yesterday. Again, is there a correlation? We don't know if there's a correlation, but look, it makes sense to sell stock when you can make profit off of it. No harshing on these guys for selling their stock. Of course, it's above board. It's being reported. But yeah, you got to get that bag sometime. Maybe I should have sold some Norwegian Cruise Line stock yesterday and made $12. I don't know. The stocks are moving. Interesting time in cruising. One day you're like, wow, this is the best ever. We're on a trajectory to the stars. And then the next day it creeps back down and you're like, I hate the stock market. Stocks are a long-term game. That's what they tell me. That's what I understand. We did get an interesting phone call yesterday. Jenny B got a phone call that said that we had inherited $8 million. I don't know who we inherited $8 million from, but all we had to do was transfer some money so that they could work out transferring the $8 million to us. It sounds like a solid plan. We're going to the bank later to transfer that money over. And so if you don't see any more videos tomorrow, that means that I got my $8 million and that I quit. But if I'm back here tomorrow, then, well, maybe it was a scam. I don't know. Is there any way I can research this? Yeah. How you feeling about the cruise stocks? Leave a comment below. Now, look, I got to tell you about the president of a cruise company that's going to have their own jewelry line. And I also have to tell you about a cruise that we canceled. But before I get there, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, well, I'm convinced that this is the place to get it. Come get your cruise news and views from me on the daily and get it in the first hour. Be a part of the notification squad. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on, and that way you'll be in the know. And look, while we're here, can we have a conversation about the like button? The like button's, it's important. It's important to me. It's important to YouTube. I need you to click the like button, and I'm so serious about it. If you do not hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you. And your punishment will be this. You'll be reaching into your blue travel bag, getting ready to brush your teeth after a long day of cruising, 2 o'clock in the morning. And well, instead of getting the toothpaste that you normally use, you grab the diaper rash stuff that you use sometime for chafing. Have I shared too much? And you brush your teeth with that, and it will be unpleasant. Trust me, I heard from a friend that this is how it goes down in Funky Town. Look, you can avoid all that just by hitting the like button. All right, thank you in advance. Let's talk about the cruise line president that is getting their own jewelry line. Of course, we're talking about Christine Duffy, president of Carnival Cruise Line. She will be working with the fine folks at FE to develop her own jewelry line. It's not unheard of for a cruise celebrity to have a jewelry line. Captain Kate McHugh over there on Celebrity, she's got her own jewelry line. And of course, Carnival, the largest cruise company in the world. A lot of people know Christine Duffy. And so why not? Why not design some jewelry, put it on sale in the FE store, and you can get yourself some Christine Duffy branded jewelry. Ladies and gentlemen out there, jewelry wearers, would you get some Christine Duffy jewelry? Leave a comment below. I feel like I'm doing market research on the jewelry. I don't know. I almost got Jenny some Kate McHugh jewelry. It looked cool. There was like a girder, some very industrial cool. Yeah, like I said, leave a comment below. And all right, as promised, let me tell you about a future cruise that we had to cancel. Man, sometimes things don't work out the way they're supposed to work out. I got a hot tip that a friend of mine was going to go on a New Year's Eve cruise on the Serenade of the Seas Royal Caribbean. And so I immediately booked that cruise. I just yelled at Jenny, hey, let's book that cruise. We've never done a New Year's Eve cruise. My thought process was that cruise would start a few days before New Year's and would end a few days after the New Year. Well, that's not what the case was. This cruise started on the 31st of December, and then it ended on the 7th of January. And I've mentioned it in a couple of shows. I'm going back to school starting in January, and most of the time the school is remote, but once a year I have to go to Charleston, West Virginia for an on-site residency. And I did not know the date of that residency, and well, this year it's the first week in January. And so it conflicts with the cruise. Fortunately, we were able to get that cruise through a casino offer, so we only have a few $100s in that cruise. We're going to see if we can move the cruise and not lose any money. But yeah, I won't be able to do the New Year's Eve cruise on Serenade of the Seas. Quite the bummer. Quite the bummer, but I got to get back in school, so that's the plan. I'm trying to rework some of our tip videos. I did this video a few years ago, things that you must have in your carry-on, things you must carry on to a cruise. I think some of that's changed. If you could, watch that video, maybe leave a comment, something that you carry on with you that I didn't include, that would be helpful. Thanks so much for checking out the show. This is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Arrivederci.